Hello and welcome to the 2021-22 Heart of America Athletic Conference's Men's Wrestling Media Day. My name is Ross Peterson. I'm the host of the Sports Fanatics here in Des Moines, Iowa on 106.3 KXNO. Today, joined by Benedictine College head coach Marcus Cobbs. Coach Cobbs, how's it going today, man?
Oh, it's going great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. It's great to see you. I know you were just here in Des Moines, right? Not long ago. We were just kind of talking about this. How's the preseason going?
Yeah, I was just up there in Des Moines. I was up there for preseason nationals doing a little bit of recruiting. And so a lot of great wrestling up there, and just great to be back in that atmosphere, that big tournament atmosphere up there in Iowa. And so it's a great way to start off the season and get you excited for the season. So
yeah, you're familiar with Iowa. You're familiar with this Heart Conference. You were a wrestler at William Penn. For folks that aren't maybe familiar with the Heart, Coach, what do you tell fans to expect when they're checking out the Heart of America Conference for the first time?
I expect, I tell them that it's one of the most competitive conferences in the country. Obviously, when it comes to the wrestling side of it, I mean, we're second to none. And so I think you're going to have, the best colleges and the best athletes here in the Heart of America. And not only that, we're competing on every level. And so it's a great place to be, and a lot of great standout athletes here in this conference.
We were also reminiscing about the Crazy Train and how this is that nutty time of season for you. You guys are going to jump right in. A lot of these teams that we've been talking to here in the Heart are going to have a really busy start and jump into the deep end. You're doing it with the Dan Harris Open, then you'll be coming back up here to Des Moines for the Grandview Open. What are you hoping to see from your team, Coach, out of these first couple of tournaments?
Well, with us, we got a lot of great returners. We didn't lose many guys from last year, and then we got a lot of great newcomers. And so what I really want to see is that we're competing on a high level, and that we're continuing to raise the bar for our team here at Benedictine. We're relatively still young. This is actually our 10th season as an NAIA program and as a Heart program. And so I think it's going to be great to see these guys go out there and compete. And with the guys we've brought in and the guys that have stuck around, I want to see them compete, and I want to see them compete on a high level with the best.
Coach Cobbs, I want to talk about some of those newcomers, but first let's talk about some of those individuals that are returning that make your team kind of a formidable opponent this year. Who are some of the returners that you're proud of?
Well, three of the top returners that I believe I'm very proud of, and obviously that are great leaders for our program, is Harshan Chan. Harshan Chan is a 141-pounder. This is his fourth season here with Benedictine. He's out of Illinois, Matea Valley High School. Just a very strong leader on the mat and off the mat academically. He puts in the work in the wrestling room, and then obviously, if you saw his GPA, he puts in the work in the classroom. Two very similar gentlemen to him would be my 174-pounder Jensen McDermott and my 184-pounder Tyson Albright. These are also guys that are just willing to put in the work in the wrestling room and willing to put in the work in the classroom. But with it being their fourth season, I think it's about, they really feel it, and they're really hungry to get over that hump and really start getting necks and heads turning and check them out this season.
And then that leaves some room for some newcomers. You've kind of touched on it a little bit. You've got some new blood coming in that fans should be excited about. Who would you like to highlight?
Absolutely. I mean, once again, I'll highlight a good, three of them. Two of them are Kansas natives. And so not only is Benedictine excited about them, but, the state of Kansas is really excited about these guys staying home. But one is Joseph Triscornia, who will possibly go on 133 for us. He's a multiple-time state finalist here in Kansas out of Olathe North. Just a great kid, hardworking, wrestled in the Metro Classic. Kansas versus Missouri, won his match, and just, shows that he's a real competitor, especially one in the big shows. And so I'm excited about him at 133. 197, we have Caden Casella, who's, I'm a little guy, and so I'm a 141-pounder, about 5'2". Caden Casella is 6'4", 197 pounds. So to see that size of a guy with that athletic ability on my team, who actually has some great accolades and is very familiar with the sport of wrestling, and is, has a very good mat IQ. I'm really excited about him. 197 is kind of a weight class we struggled with in the past. And so to have someone strong and competitive and successful there is really exciting for us. And then finally, out of Arkansas, Charles Easterling. Charles Easterling would be coming in possibly at our 125 spot as a freshman. He's the brother of one of our returners, Daryl Easterling, but he's a 3-time state champion out of Arkansas, 4-time finalist. And so just really excited about him and seeing what he's got to show for these guys out here in the heart and in the country.
Yeah, and he's got that little brother thing going too. You got to like that, right, Coach? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he wants to show up big, bro.
Exactly right. I can appreciate that. You touched on something there that I'd like to focus on just for a minute, and that is your recruiting, especially right there in your backyard. Mm-hmm. It seems like you've been able to get some better talent there from the local area, but it seems like wrestling in that area has picked up. Can you just kind of talk for a moment about that Benedictine, Atchison as a whole, and what the wrestling community is, what's happening in the community with wrestling?
Yeah, I mean, Benedictine as a whole, and just, ever since I moved here back in 2017, I had people who I had never met, didn't even have the intention of meeting necessarily, but they reached out and said, hey, you're the new wrestling coach at Benedictine. I have a kid that wrestles. He's 5. And so just for the fact to see that the community was so excited to have a new wrestling coach in town, and they were so welcoming, I knew that they wanted the sport to grow, and they wanted the sport to grow on every level. And so I'm very involved with the kids club here in Atchison, and I'm also very involved with the high school. And so they come to our conference meets, they come to, every home event that we possibly can have. And so it's a very tight-knit, family-orientated community who really loves the sport of wrestling and wants to see it grow. Now, when you talk about the state of Kansas, it's the same thing as, it's going from each college and all the different schools here, but it seems that they're really serious about growing the sport of wrestling here in Kansas and reaching out to these coaches and having coaches come to clinics and come to these different events and really being welcoming to the sport of wrestling. So I could see that they wanted to grow and the community is very excited about it.
Glad you've been there to facilitate that over this last decade, Coach Cobbs. Keep it up. Wish you the best of luck. I'll make sure I come say hi to you at a tournament. Thank you very much for giving me some time this afternoon.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me.
You bet. We'll talk to you soon. Coach Cobbs, have the best of luck this season.
Absolutely.